hair's blowing in the wind a little bit. What's up, guys? Me and Zach just wrapped up a morning hunt. We're here in Iowa right now. We're getting ready to head down to Missouri. We're gonna be hunting public land down there. You're getting ready to go to Ohio.
Yep.
So this next week is gonna be pretty wild, but all these Missouri videos are gonna be sponsored by Onyx, including this one. And just a few days ago, I was able to go down there and get in a quick hunt before everybody else got there. And it was
pretty good.
It was pretty good. I think you guys are gonna like it. So hope you enjoy this video. What's up, guys? I'm in Missouri today. I'm out here on my family farm, actually. We're planning on doing a collaboration hunt next week with the guys from Hushin out here on some public land just down the road. But I came down a few days early to get some scouting in, and I had a few spare hours this evening to get back up here on the family farm. This farm's pretty special to me. My granddad bought it before I was born. I killed my first deer here, my first turkey. It's a pretty small farm, and my dad and his wife have lived on it now for several years. It's been a while since I went back here and hunted it, so I figured I'd go back here and set up over Dad's food plot this evening. He's been running a trail camera up here in the food plot. There's been a lot of does on it lately, it looks like, judging from the camera. So we got east-southeast wind tonight. I'm going in up this hill into the wind. We're gonna go on and ease up this brush hog path here up the edge of this timber, scouting our way in and set up on the best sign that we find. Right here's this food plot. A pretty big track right there. Here's a real fresh scrape right here in front of me. Dad's camera's up there another 75, 80 yards. But look at this thing. This sucker's been getting worked. I'm thinking they're bedding down in there and coming up through this timber. There's a pretty little tree right here. See that little one with the split trunk up there? I can probably get right there where that V is and blend in with that trunk pretty good. I ended up setting up in this little split tree overlooking that scrape. Scrape's about 12 yards from the base of the tree. And as you can tell, this trunk of the tree is not very big, but there's two trunks that split right here. Even though it's not a very big tree, I think I'll still be able to get away with it. This little lane right here behind me has got some wheat and stuff planted in it. We've planted it every year since I was a kid. And the deer travel this lane quite a bit. Got bedding off here to the east. I know some of you guys would rather see me out hunting public land, but this is my family farm. This is where I grew up hunting. And I like to come up here every once in a while and give it a try. I'm self-filming again tonight. And I went and forgot the dadgum Bear Zoom for Jake's camera, because that's what I'm filming with. Hopefully if one comes in, that scrape will take his attention off of me so that I can get the camera on him and get the bow drawn. It's a good evening. High today is in the mid-50s, and the wind is coming just like this right here in my face, blowing back down here towards our house. Judging from the pictures on the camera, we ought to at least see a few deer. So that's what I'm hoping. It's about 5:30. I haven't seen anything yet, but I just heard my dad pull in from work up there at the house. Our house is about half a mile or so from this little lane up here. The main food plot that we typically plant is back behind me, about 7,500 yards away. It's right on top of the hill, and we can actually see that from our house. Forage is more lush and stuff out there because the soil quality is better, but we always tend to hunt back here on this lane because the bucks are more apt to using this thing during the daylight. They'll come up this lane and they'll stop here right where this scrape is and where this big oak is at, and they'll stand there and they'll stare out in that main part of the food plot, and many times won't go out there until it gets, you know, real close to dark. He's going down. He's going down. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. I had to hold that draw for so long on that thing. And he came in perfect right to the scrape. I mean right to that sucker. Just decided to come up here on the home farm tonight and set up over the food plot. Haven't sat here hunting for years. I can't believe that just happened. He was slightly quartering too, and I held it, as y'all saw, forever. At one point I kind of slid the bow down to my leg and rested it there a little bit, and then I got back on him, and like my arms were seizing up, my muscles were, and I was twitching and going back and forth. I knew if I let down though, he's so close he's gonna see me. I did not want to rush it. I know that he was slightly quartering when I shot, but I waited for that opportunity. I did not want to shoot him when he was facing me. Had his head in those branches just going wild. And he finally gave me just a little bit of a quartering angle there. And I put it right there in the center of his shoulder. And I hit just a hair lower than I wanted to, but I think I got him. I killed my first deer 150 yards from here. I killed my first turkey 75 yards from here. Everybody's always giving us crap about scent control and stuff. Me and my dad and my sister's got a picture of it. We walked down the middle of this lane the other day, walking her dog, and went up there and checked that camera. And he didn't even care. You know, he walked right through that ground scent. He knew he wanted to get to that scrape. Holy cow, what just happened? I gotta call my dad. He's probably just now getting home from work up there. I gotta call the guys and let them know. Dude, I think we got a buck down in Missouri, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Up here at the family farm.
Dude, I was just thinking about that this morning. I was like, I wonder if he's hunting over there at all.
He came into a scrape like right underneath. I mean, to be honest, like the easiest hunt ever. Just put a stand on your back and walk back here and find a fresh scrape and set up over it. And then at 5:30, here he comes walking right down the lane.
Whatever, dude, that's hilarious.
Sitting here talking to Zach about this hit on the phone. And I heard something walking behind me, and here comes my dad. He's got knives and a light. He looks like he's ready to go tracking.
Hey, THP AARP.
THP AARP, he says. I just got down out of the tree, met up with Pop here.
Howdy.
We're gonna go over and take a look at this arrow real quick. I'll show y'all right where I was set up. I'm gonna get down at the deer's level right here. Y'all can see that forked tree back here behind me. My stand is on the furthest fork. It's about 10 yards from this scrape that he was working.
Got blood down the air shaft.
Yeah, a lot of blood, but there's also
A little bit of fat.
decent amount of fat on there. And I think he's laying dead right now. I don't want to take any chances. So me and Dad are going to back out of here, get some more lights, and my cousin Brandon's going to come and help, and then we'll slide in there and see if we can find him. Well, it's been a couple hours since the shot. I got my dad, my cousin Brandon, and we're going to go in and try to find him.
Got 4 or 5 drops here. There's some more on our head where we saw it earlier.
Yeah, we got real good blood right here, guys. Right here's where he crossed the fence. It's got a lot of bubbles in it, Brandon.
You got blood?
Yeah. There he lays, boys.
Is he there?
There he is, Brandon.
Look at there.
Come on up here. Hey, take this light for me, Pop.
Right here, buddy. Good job.
All
Thanks
right.
for being here, man.
All right, let's get it. I got a handful of lights. Let's get a handful of deer.
That's awesome. How far did he go? Not even 100 yards. I bet.
Yeah, he didn't make it very far. He
I
only
tell you
made
what,
about 100 yards.
he didn't bleed as much as I thought he would have for that low of a shot.
No.
And a pass through, you just thought he'd have bled a lot more than that.
Big old body, but Oh yeah. Big old head on him. Look at that. Yes.
Andy.
Yes, he is.
You can smell all that cedar on there from where he's been rubbing. Yeah, he's got that gnarly little point right there. How about that?
Heck of a good deer. So this is the entrance, right?
Yeah, here, grab that bow, Dad. We'll flip him over and we'll show him where the exit was. Went right through that front side shoulder, but I want to see where it come out at.
Cause it went through both shoulders, I think. There's the exit.
Oh yeah, it did go through
See
both
his
shoulders.
See how his leg was back there?
Yep. You're right, and if it was an inch or two lower, it would have been down in that brisket, but it's right in the bottom of that cavity, isn't it?
Basically, if you were aiming for opposite shoulder, that's what I mean. That's perfect.
Yep.
Oh, I got 2 good pictures.
Are you sure?
What do you think, Brandon?
I'll take some.
Yeah, I think it'd be best if you took some.
I got good
Right
pictures.
here's where you need to be.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you.
Best watch.
I'm glad that I got my dad and my cousin Brandon out here with me tonight. Brandon and I grew up hunting. Dad actually took me down here into these woods when I was probably 5, 6 years old. Me and Brandon both on tracking jobs and stuff. I'd walk around with you and spook deer and run around
And 2 on a grunt call.
Here I was just sitting in a stand, and here comes Aaron down through there.
You got to talk louder. You got to tell them about it.
I ain't telling you that.
Brandon's wanting to tell you guys about the first buck that I shot with a bow right now. And
Aaron went with us to one of the farms that I grew up on hunting their whole lives, and we had a stand called Old Faithful. And at that time, Dad still farmed, and he was, whenever he'd go cut beans or Milo or whatever, I'd go down and mess around in the woods, and I found all these buck rubs, and so Dad helped me put a stand up in there, and I thought it was going to be the ticket, and sent Aaron to Old Faithful because it wasn't any good. And about 30 minutes before dark, right at the prime, here comes Aaron bebopping down through the field, a whistle, and he ruined my hunt. I think I was more.
you got to shut up, or it's still got
I
shoot
think I was
light
more
left.
jealous because he got a deer out of Old Trusty. Of course, we were about 12 at the time. So.
Yeah.
So.
You weren't near as bad mood as once I told you that I shot a buck and then I hit him pretty good.
I didn't know what he was doing.
You kind of calmed down a little bit, but I shot the buck and I was so excited to get over there and tell him that I just walked right over there with daylight left.
You didn't walk, you skipped. Whistling.
Yeah.
Family and friends are starting to have some luck here the past week and a half.
Man, they have. Uncle Ray got a nice one. John McMorris got a nice one. Jill, my cousin Jill, shot a really big buck a few days ago. Caden got one with his crossbow. Tyler's got one.
It's been a good year so far. Seems like there's a lot of deer this year.
Yeah.
A lot of bucks, too. Seems like a lot of people are talking about all the bucks.
Yeah, and Facebook's been littered with them here in the last few days, so hopefully it keeps up. But pretty cool to get to come back to the home farm here and be able to harvest a nice buck like this. I did not expect it to happen, but I got lucky that he finally turned and was able to give me a shot. I was a little bit nervous because the buck is 1/4 and 2, and we don't usually try to take 1/4 and 2 shots, but he's so close, and I'm shooting high poundage bow with a super heavy arrow and a fixed blade broadhead, and I didn't have any doubts it was going to go through that shoulder. And
Actually, went through both shoulders.
yeah,
Pretty fast through.
let's go get the tractor. What do you say?
Let's get it.
Get something to eat.
All right.
Make sure you cut out all the ugs and
I got no feeling left.
Nice to get to do that every once in a while. Well guys, it's the next morning. Me and Dad got my buck hung up over here. We let him cool out last night. We're gonna start cutting him up here in a minute, but I killed him right back up there on that hill behind me. And we've got him hung up over here in our usual tree right next to the fainting goats. We butchered a lot of deer in this tree right here. This is where I learned to cut them up. We rarely take them anywhere. We usually just do them ourselves. We got us a nice little fish cleaning deer cleaning station over there. So we're gonna start hacking on him here in just a minute.
Get that seal. Good.
All right, we got my buck butchered, got him vacuum sealed and in the freezer. Now I'm gonna go out to the public land and start doing some scouting. The boys are gonna be in here in just a few days, and We'll be hunting public land all week down here in Missouri. So keep checking back on the channel. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.